This is not good news for Honduras, Nicaragua, areas of Central America, Belize, and of course in Mexico, because 1 to 2 feet of rain plus is going to be coming down. That's a life-threatening amount of rain, and that's very dangerous. But the fact that land is so close by to where the center is, which we think is right about there, wow, that is actually putting a brake on what otherwise could be a very dangerous, big-time, high-end hurricane because the atmospheric conditions around it, look at it. It looks like a galaxy. I mean, this thing has got all of the atmospheric ingredients you want or would see for a very rapidly strengthening tropical cyclone. But the proximity to land is, I think, influencing it now for sure and will probably be at least somewhat in the way going forward. And yes, that's good news for those of us down the line that don't want to see a high-end hurricane, but it doesn't matter. It's going to bring deadly impacts, we think, to parts of Central America, if not already, with that extremely heavy rainfall. Center circulation, again, still over water, as Jen was mentioning, probably somewhere in there. I was watching some of the low clouds and looking at trying to match it up with the hurricane reconnaissance. So it's out about there. But look, it's close enough to land so that a little bit of a wiggle or a wobble one way or the other will make a whole lot of difference down the road, right? So let's just say it moves basically to the west. That would carry the center or that little core of a circulation over or very near the coast, and that would limit the strengthening for sure. But what if it were to move, and certainly within the realm of the uncertainty in the forecasts that we have now, what if it were to move about like that? Well, that would be a different outcome, even in the next 24 hours, and we would likely see a significantly stronger system. It's one that needs very, very close attention because of the nearby shoreline and other factors that can change the intensity like that. So, look, the atmospheric conditions, as I mentioned, are very favorable for development. The high altitudes are circulating around in a clockwise kind of way. Now, if you study atmospheric convection in tropical systems, you know that that kind of high altitude pattern does what's called reduce the inertial stability. So in other words, the outflow can extend to much greater distances, and you can get those thunderstorms to breathe more effectively. And as a result, you can contract the lower altitude circulation into a much stronger one. We have that high altitude wind flow pattern that is favorable for collecting those thunderstorms and allowing them to exhale. So that is one thing you don't want to see if you don't want to see a tropical system develop quickly. We also have a lot of deep moisture as well, and that is preventing a lot of dry air or not allowing any dry air to be infiltrating the center of the circulation, which would otherwise try to weaken it. We are not seeing those breaks naturally in the atmosphere. The only break that we've got is that land mass and the frictional torques associated with that could wind down the circulation at least somewhat. But again, it's not exactly clear because look at this forecast. It has it riding just to the north, and that could lead to a much stronger system just in a matter of 18 to 24, 36 hours or so. And we could be dealing with a hurricane, no problem, given those atmospherics that I mentioned. Bottom line is that it's just a lot of uncertainty. This model, the European, kind of buries it near the coast for a couple days, and then only by early next week does it move it out here over parts of the southern Gulf of Mexico.